Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's shakin'? Incidentally, not Fidel Castro, who passed away on the 25th of November. Today, we're gonna take a look at how the Twitter sphere is taking his death. The short answer, either really well or really not well. Let's get into it. Welcome to the hashtag breakdown. So first off, who is this guy? Here are the cliff notes. 90 years old, 6'3", great beard, likes long walks in the jungles and cigar. Looking for a fella into communism just like him. Fidel was the leader and revolutionary that transitioned Cuba into a communist system. He had serious beef with JFK and the American government in general, and did a lot of moving and shaking far beyond his little island in the Caribbean. But we'll get back to his diplomatic dance moves in a minute. First, some hashtags for your consideration. Hashtag Castro's death and hashtag Trudeau eulogy, surprisingly. You might say the first one is pretty uninspired, and I'd agree, but that is where the juicy discourse is happening. Here are a few samples. Hashtag Cuba, my only lament is for the victims of hashtag Fidel. The disasters and death tolls are his true legacy. Hashtag Castro's death, totalitarian hashtag dictator. And another, hashtag Castro's death, man dies, legend lives, may his soul rest in power. Wait, are we even talking about the same guy here, or did his kindly body double die too? No, jokes aside, no body doubles were actually harmed, just one big political player who catalyzed some big changes for a long time. The results of these changes? Up for debate. The means? Morally questionable on more than one occasion. In the wake of his death, normal folks like you and me, world leaders, and even the damn Pope is reacting to aspects of his historical footprint that feels closest to them. You know what I love? Burritos. You know what else I love? Weighing pros and cons. Since it's morning time right now and I can't have a burrito, let's weigh some pros and cons, and you can come up with your own conclusions on Castro. I'm a bad news first kind of person, so let's start with the cons. In a lot of ways, Castro was bad for the Cuban people. Between citizens who fought back, tried to flee, and were dispatched, we're talking about over 100,000 Cuban people who died. In the early days of Castro's revolution, execution by firing squad was common, as were fatal beatings and gross torture in punishment cells, which, yes, is as bad as they sound. Critics of Castro would go as far as saying that the Cuban Revolution was a full-on genocide. Additionally, Castro rounded up the quote-unquote undesirables he considered dead weight on the revolution and put them in work camps. We're talking homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, and anybody looking a bit too bougie. Bet you never expected those three groups to be in one place at the same time. Anyway, Castro's grip of control was tight, and it remained that way for a long time. So yeah, those are some pretty big cons. How can we really even come back from that? But the classic argument for Castro is how his citizens fared post-revolution. Health-wise, Cuba is pretty damn impressive. The ratio of doctors to patients is one of the highest in the world, and mortality rates are lower here than even in the States. Cuban doctors are rivaled in all over Latin America. Literacy rates are pretty great too. Over 99.8% of adults can read. That's almost a full point above the United States. Internationally, Castro's troops played a huge role in fighting against apartheid, the racist and deadly 1980s government system in South Africa, even when America wouldn't get involved. He also helped African nations under colonial rule like Ghana and Angola gain their independence. In that sense, it isn't actually surprising that many African leaders have treated Castro's death as the loss of a real ally. The guy was even tight with Mandela. And this brings me to hashtag Trudeau eulogies. Our Canadian friends might be wondering what their prime minister has to do with this mess. Well, he paid respects to Castro as well, calling him a larger-than-life leader who served his people. People are actually mad and ironically are taking to Twitter to eulogize classic baddies in a rosy-tinted way. A favorite of mine our team found was, while controversial, Darth Vader achieved great heights in space construction and played a formative role in his son's life. Pro or anti-Castro, the message is clear. There will always be nuance and debate as to whether a big leader did more harm than good, as most really did both. One user even stated, if you act like a monster some of the time, then you are a monster all of the time. which is a pretty charged statement. But let us know what you guys think in the comment box down below. Let us know. Finally, action time. Reviving Castro is not only impossible, but probably not preferable to many, so that's out. But if any country could conduct that kind of medical miracle, it would be Cuba. This week, let's push for action towards a similarly high level of care, both within the United States and worldwide. We've linked information on Doctors Without Borders below, as well as the National Association of Free and Charitable Clinics, who focus on providing affordable care options within the United States. If this cause is one you'd like to champion, go for it. Consider donating, volunteering, or getting the word out on social media. Everything is in the description box below. We can't wait to see what you guys choose, so keep us updated by tweeting us at BrainNoms and tell us where you land on the issue of Mr. Castro 2. We'll be waiting to hear. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. A big thank you to Zarah, who took the lead on the hashtag breakdown this week. As always, like, subscribe, share these videos, and of course, comment in the comment box down below what you think you can do for immigration, what you want to explore more of, and where do you think Cuba's gonna end up next? We really want to know. And of course, if there is anything you feel like you guys had your brains nom on this week, or things you want to share with other people because there is news out there for the curious, go ahead, share these videos, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you're as excited as we are. And as always, we will see you guys in the next episode. Stay hungry, folks. Bye-bye.